Let's get into the state of the nation. Nigeria's anti-corruption drive gets our attention is once again in the center of national debate following reports and counter-reports around investigations by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, including claims involving former Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami, and references to other former public officials. Why the EFCC maintains that its actions are guided strictly by evidence and the law, critics and supporters of the previous administration are arguing that the timing, the optics, public handling of these investigations raise concerns about selective justice and political targeting. Let me get to my guest to get into discussing this and dissecting it for us. I have a lawyer, political analyst, Mr. Liberos Oshoma, who is live for us on the program. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Shema.
Is the EFCC biased from your point of view? Are the people under Buhari government the only corrupt people in Nigeria today? That's the question that
let me answer that question with the Buhari government's answer.
Yeah.
Remember, Buhari's government came, you know, when during the campaign, they painted Jonathan's government as very corrupt. Yeah, there were allegations of corruption. And so the fight was, once we kill corruption, Nigeria will stand. So we need to bring a man who will fight corruption to a standstill. And so when Buhari government came on board, that was when Senator Shehu Sani made that statement that people in the government, he was a member of the party, people in the party are deodorized, and those in opposition they use insecticides on them. And if you criticize the fight, then Abubakar Malami was the Attorney General then. And if you criticize their style, they tell you, oh, it is corruption that is fighting back. And one thing some of us observers learned at that time, our takeaway, was that, let me use local parlance, anytime you enter Native Doctor House, you must see white chalk. So anytime you beam a searchlight on all these government officials, definitely there must be some skeleton. And that's why the current emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Kano, Sanusi said, remove the current set of senators, remove all of them, just pick random Nigerians and put there, replace them, and that they will still behave the same, because you have a lot of educated Nigerians who are behaving like illiterates. And so that's my answer to you, that in this case here, the question is, and our Chief Ganifa will always ask, are you corrupt? Are there allegations? These allegations against you.
So this is what Malami, for example, is saying. And this is from our attorney, immediate past Attorney General, is claiming and alleging bias and persecution. These are his words. He said this is a personal vendetta and a politically motivated witch hunt.
Yeah, it's not, like I say, he's not the first person to use these words. Even while he was Attorney General, some of the people he prosecuted also said it was witch hunting. So these are words that have found their way consistently to our political and legal lexicon. Anytime somebody out of government is investigated, they say it's witch hunting.
There is a prayer by Malami. Malami says, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, the EFCC chairman, should recuse himself.
That's
because he thinks that the man is biased, the man is clearly playing a political game. That is what Malami believes.
There is no word or practice like that in as far as investigation is concerned. Check the entire legal jurisprudence of the entire world. You cannot tell an investigative agency, because the investigative agency's responsibility is to investigate. It is the duty of the court that will, that's why we say auditory patem. It is the duty of the court to look at the cases brought before them and also call you to respond. It is only a judge that you can say, with your attitude, behavior, and utterances, there is every element that you will be biased or that you are biased. Not somebody who is investigating you. For me, telling an investigator to recuse himself because of likelihood of bias will amount to what you would call taking undue advantage of a position. And here we say we want to create strong institutions and not strong human being. For the fact that you are a senior advocate or an attorney general does not mean that you cannot be investigated. And then also, legally speaking, does the fact that somebody was indicted, if at all, by a panel, and that person is now investigating you, does it vitiate the powers to investigate you? The answer is no, because the investigator is not a court. And then, one good thing about this is that during investigation, you also have the power, you also have the right to present your own defense. And the investigator's responsibility is not to condemn you. It is to investigate and place material evidence before the court. So this, at this stage, if you are saying, no, EFCC cannot investigate me, instead take the matter to his bar. So if Liberal Oshoma commits an offense tomorrow, an alleged offense, and then Liberal Oshoma can also say there is a precedent that Malemi once asked the EFCC chairman to recuse himself. And so if that happens, then IGP, recuse yourself. But
the question is that, is the Tinubu government fighting corruption or just chasing after political opponents?
The question
is interesting. Malami went to the ABC. They went after him.
For me,
Ngige,
in Nigeria,
under Buhari administration, in the custody.
Ngige is a member of the APC.
Yeah, but I mean, those who think that the Tinubu government is just after the former president's governments
after previous government officials. Even Buhari's administration, where Malami started. If you look at this book, Shehu, you just discussed this book, page 222 to 223, 224. He talked about Alison Madwike Desiani, talked about Sambo Dasuki, talked about Olisa Metu, all the prosecution and all of that. So, was it that when they told us then that, no, this is not witch hunting, the question remained then was that, are your hands clean? Like they say, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands.
Give me a moment, Mr. Oshoma, because there are also a few fundamental questions for us to close on. But we'll be right back after this break, everyone. Everyone, for staying with us, our closing moment with Mr. Liberal Oshoma, a lawyer and a political analyst. Thanks so much indeed for your time. So you look at what is going on and the perspectives, and perhaps maybe one should be careful in handling some of these issues. On one hand, the fact that the Malami side, there was an attack on his convoy a few weeks later, and the manner in which the EFCC went about it. And these are the issues that he raised about the approach of the EFCC on this matter.
Let's not patronize these people. There are people in government today, and I pray that when they leave government, they're invited like this. And I know that they will also say they are being witch hunted. Because the life of a political office holder is that of a tenured monarch in Nigeria. You are in government, you wade all powers. The moment you leave, you suddenly discover that there's nobody behind you. And today, Malami approached the courts for summons for bail. And the courts, having looked at all of the issues, said, no, you were arrested on a court order. I cannot sit on appeal. Because if that bail had been granted, then we'll still sit back here and say the court of coordinated jurisdiction issued conflicting order. And the court said, having looked at the order from my brother George, I cannot grant this bail. The best thing is administrative bail had been granted. Meet the terms and conditions of the bail, and then you walk home. So now coming to say recuse yourself. This is the first time I'm hearing that it's just like that you're telling an investigator to recuse himself from investigating you. It's just like Showore telling the IGP that, look, I've called you names and so you cannot investigate me. Rather, let civil defense investigate me. The moment we begin to do that, what we're doing, we're creating superhumans who remain untouchable. Whether Buhari's men are being investigated by Tinubu, I pray that someday somebody else will come and investigate Tinubu's men. The question remains that this allegation, is there any iota of truth in them?
So with whatever Malami is raising, does not look to make EFCC complicit.
Not at all.
In the face of the law.
Not at all. There is no legal basis for that. The EFCC is empowered. Under Malami, do you know that under Malami, in fact, it was the Attorney General encouraging the EFCC that went to Supreme Court on public servants. And then, because despite the provisions of our laws, the court said once you live above your means as a public servant, EFCC has the right to invite you.
So we should allow Malami and the rest to face to
let them go and face.
EFCC is doing its job.
The EFCC is doing their job. You have not said that, look, there is no allegation against me and I'm just... There are allegations. Answer the allegations and then let the law take its course.
Boros Oshoma, thank you so much.
My pleasure always.
I appreciate it for explaining these issues to us. A lawyer and a political analyst.